Hey guys, welcome. Ben Sturtevant here, and today I've got a special training for you. I ran through this with our team the other day in one of our morning calls, and I think it's super important to give you a really clear picture of what our entire $100 million ecosystem looks like. I've gone over this similarly in other trainings, but I think this is going to be really important for you to see because it really illustrates to you how involved this process is. And I want to stress that if you want help with this, if you are not 100% confident that you can build this out, we can help you. This is what we specialize in. This is what we do. So please reach out. Let us know in the comments. We're happy to connect with you. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through and spend some time kind of going through this. I'm going to walk you through everything that we're sort of doing to push people through our system. And I'm going to kind of try to explain some of the psychology and the reasoning behind some of it. So there's basically two forms of acquisition, right, for lead generation. Obviously, you've got paid ads, you've got organic content, right? And so for us, we run two different types of paid ads. Well, three actually. We are running some straight to low ticket. Okay, we are running straight to page. That's what these ones are right here. So these are going straight to lead magnets, directly to the page. And then we have some that are going straight into DM, direct message, which also automatically fire these lead magnets. Now, one of the things that I think is important to point out here is that we are using lots of different lead magnets, and we're actually using a lot more than this. And the reason that this is important is because you've got to be attracting people, and the lead magnets are what we use to attract people. So what's a lead magnet? How do you create good ones? There's separate trainings on those. We've gone through that a million times, but very quickly, a lead magnet just solves a problem. Really quick way to create a lot of great lead magnets. Make a list of all the problems that your target audience deals with, frustrations, objections, concerns, all of the challenges that they're going through in the process of building their business or attaining their goal or, whatever niche that you're in. Make a list of all the problems and then just create little mini solutions for all of those. And whether it's a video or a PDF or something, a quick win, create as many as you can to solve all of those objections, because the people who can solve all of the problems of their target audience are going to win. And we use lead magnets in a way to capture interest, right? And so we drive them into I'd say probably a majority of our ad spend. I'd say probably 70% of our ad spend is going directly into the DM, but we're not just leaving it there. We're giving people an opportunity to opt into our ecosystem by immediately firing a link. So our ads will go add straight to the DM, and then a link automatically fires from Meta, which gives them access to maybe it's a course or a VSL opt-in, some sort of opt-in that they have to come into our ecosystem and get on our list, obviously, because the list is so important, because we are eventually going to use that list to nurture. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But the organic is another way that we're supplementing our ads. These two actually work really well together. And you have to forgive my artistic ability here because I'm just drawing with my mouse, so it's not super simple. But what I mean by that is when people opt in, all right, they're typically going to automatically start getting referred to organic content. So we do a lot of content on Facebook and Instagram specifically. We also have some over here on YouTube, but Facebook and Instagram are obviously owned by the same people or same person, Mark Zuckerberg, and that's Meta. So these ecosystems tend to get intertwined and mixed together a lot. This might make it a little easier for you to see, and I'll try to zoom in as much as I can here. But ultimately, there's going to be crossover. And what I mean by that is when someone opts in from an ad, they're going to get pushed organic content as well. So it's important that your organic content reinforces what your lead magnets are talking about, and what your lead magnets are reinforcing what your organic content is talking about. And all of those things should be geared around providing solutions to your target audience. So they work symbiotically, if that makes sense. They got to work together. Okay, so now we're driving people directly into DM so that we can also speed up that process. Our ultimate goal is down here, guys. Obviously, we want to get people on a sales call. Okay, so obviously, this whole process can take time, and that's because 80% of the people will not make a decision to work with you right off the bat, or at least not be even willing to engage with you, whether it's through an opt-in page or a lead magnet, through a DM. Most of the people are not going to immediately be willing to have a conversation with you or book a call. But we do get some people to do that. So that's why I like this process, because it's the best of both worlds, right? If, 80% of the people who come in don't engage with messaging, there's 20% that do. And so we have an opportunity to get those people to book right away, and they can bypass a lot of the systems. So it can speed up that process of conversion. We've sort of coined and trademarked the phrase conversion conversations. That's a system that we've created in our company, and it really does work, right? It does. But there are a majority of people, not the majority of people, a huge percentage of people will not automatically engage. So you're going to get, with the straight to page traffic, we're going to get, 30 to 40% opt-ins. And then, there's only the people that come into the messenger, we're going to get, maybe 20%, 30% max to engage in the conversation at all. The rest of those people, what are they doing? They're looking to see who we are. They're looking to understand how we can help them. In other words, they don't trust us yet. So what do we have to do? We have to nurture that relationship. And the way that you nurture is by bringing people into an ecosystem where you can start to drip on them. All right. And so we do this in a couple of different ways. We obviously have email. So as soon as they opt in to our system, they're automatically getting an email. They're going to get an SMS, a text message. They're going to get a voicemail drop at some point. We also do things like live events. So we're constantly doing webinars or, going live on social. We have our social community. They're going to get a DM from our setter. If they just opted in straight to page, they'll probably get a text message. We try to engage there the same way that we do an IG DM or a Facebook DM. Ads. If we're running straight to page traffic, we'll use our setters to get in there and message them on with text as well. We're doing, we have someone that's actually calling. We have reoffers that we do. We have 2-steps. We have webinars. We have social content. All of these things. We're doing all of these things. And I might even be missing some. But at the end of the day, we're doing all of these things in an effort to provide as many touch points as possible with our leads, because the average person's going to need multiple touch points before they make a decision to work with you. What we're trying to do here is to continue to knock down objections. So the content that we have for our lead magnets, right, up here, is reinforced with the content that we put out in our email blast, our text blast, our voicemail. All of these things, we're just knocking down objections. So that's how I come up with content for our marketing, is I say, okay, here are all the things that people are dealing with. Let's provide them solutions, right? And it's that content that wins with people. It's the content that, wow, that's great. That's awesome. What your prospects are thinking is, I have this specific problem. I want to solve it. And if you can help them solve it, and then you can show them how you can solve all the other things too, because they don't just have one. If you just help them solve one problem, they're going to go try to find somebody else who can help them solve all the others. So what we do, we don't blast them with, hey, we can solve all your problems in the very beginning. We start the relationship slowly, right? And that's usually with one sort of tick one of the boxes, right? Maybe for us, we want to work with a lot of business owners, and maybe they're struggling with lead generation. So we help them check that box. But what they're also probably struggling with is sales. So we might hit that with some retargeting ads. That actually is another thing I should have added into the ecosystem here. I don't know why I didn't do it, but retargeting is another thing that you absolutely should be doing. So I should be, retargeting ads would be funneling them back into ads about sales. They're going to probably get emails about sales, because once you've given them something, now we're going to give them something more. And all of the other content that I produce is really just designed to continue to check off those boxes. Okay, now, as we're pushing people through these other steps, 2 things are going to happen. They're going to probably book a call, right, with us, or they're not, which means they're going to be unqualified. And we have a process that we use. When people fill out a form, we use logic to kind of weed people out. Our setters will actually manually disqualify people as well, just based on some of the answers to their questions. And if they get disqualified, we're going to move them up to our low ticket. So we're always going to try to offer some sort of downsell. The mistake that a lot of business owners make is they try to start with low ticket. They try to sell low ticket first and then upsell on the high ticket on the back end. I don't agree with that. That's not the way to start. You can add low ticket later because we do, right? We run paid traffic straight to that now, but we didn't start that way because you can't afford to run traffic straight to low ticket because you're most likely going to lose money, even if you're really good at it. Okay. So, there you go. So that's what we do with the unqualified. And then of course, the people who are qualified, we're getting them on sales calls. And then are we done? No, our ecosystem is just really beginning. We want to make sure that we optimize and get that person on the phone. So our thank you page, valuable real estate, right? You've got to have, a good thank you video. You want to have some other videos that sort of pre-sell and pre-frame that call. We have our pre-call sequences. So email, text, they're going to get a customized image from our sales team with an image has their name on it. We have a tech with Elite 360 that helps them do that. We have a voicemail drop that they're going to get from that setter or from the closer. Our setters are going to be in there confirming responses to their questions. We want to make sure that that person shows up. Do 100% of the people show up? No, but we get a better show up than most because we're pre-framing that sales call with some important things. Now, on that sales call, there's a couple of things that are going to happen. They're either not ready. Okay. They need to think about it, whatever. So what do? We go, boom, we bring them back up to, sorry, my drawing here is awful. Low ticket product, right? Our sales team will downsell, right? They're either going to no show. And if they do, they're going to get put back into the ecosystem. Okay. And which is fine. They're not ready. That's fine. And then if they close, obviously we're turning them into a client. So there you go. Now, what I want to do is I want to illustrate this a little bit deeper. I know I'm spending a little bit more time than normal, but I think this is really important for you to grasp because so many people miss out on this. You have to understand that a majority of the people that you either are reaching out to organically or that you're running paid traffic to, they're not going to take the action that you want them to take right at the beginning. And that's why I wanted to show this picture. If you're running ads straight to page, right, with cold traffic, you're going to get maybe 30% opt-in, okay? And then out of those people, typically if you have a good VSL, you'll get 10% to book a call. So that means 70% of the people are not opting in. What do you do with those people? I mentioned it earlier. Got to be doing some remarketing with those people. You should be, even if you're not running ads, if you have a lot of organic traffic that you're hitting and people are going to your pages, you need to at least be doing some retargeting and remarketing. And you can do this even if you're not, driving people to a page, even if you're just driving people to your social page, you can actually retarget and remarket, run ads, retargeting people who have visited your page, who have commented, who have liked. The very minimum, you should be doing this. Okay. And then of course the 90% of the people that come into your and opt in that don't book calls, what are we doing with them? Well, obviously we're going to be running, retargeting to them as well, but we're doing low ticket retargeting. So in other words, it's kind of like a downsell, right? We're getting people, okay, they didn't take the action that we want them to take. So what are we going to do with those people? Let's try to sell them something to help build the gap between they don't know and like and trust us to they feel like we can help them, right? That's ultimately what we're trying to do. It's not that we're trying to liquidate ad spend or make money from them. Yeah, that's great. What we're trying to do is to build trust. We're saying, okay, they didn't book the call from the VSL, which means they don't quite trust us yet. So let's buy them coffee before we ask them to get married, right? That's typically what most people are doing out there is they're running ads and they're saying, want to buy, right? Like that's what they're expecting to happen. And that just doesn't happen for most people. No, there's going to be some people who have followed you, who know who you are, and they trust you already. That's not technically cold traffic though. That's warm traffic. That's your, people who've been on your list for a long time. And we get it. People come into our system. Oh, I followed us for, you guys for years. And, I love what you do. Wonderful. That's perfect. Okay. But just understand that you've got to be doing something with all of these people because eventually those people that you're downselling low ticket to, they're going to build that trust. And then we have a nurture sequence that we're putting them into that's going to upsell booking a call. And it's all designed to push people back here. It's just about nurturing them through this process so that you're, you're continuing the touch points, continuing the relationship. And I think I had another one down here for messenger cold traffic. And really, it's the same thing. There's not a whole lot, not a whole lot of difference to it. But just ultimately what you're trying to understand is, yes, while a majority of the time we want people to engage with us, book a call, most people are not going to. So it becomes really, 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 really important that you have a process such as this so that you can get people continuously hearing from you in multiple different avenues. You've got to be touching people on all of these points. So there you go. That is our ecosystem. That is a deep dive into, kind of what we're doing. Hopefully this is beneficial to you guys. Let me know if you have comments or you have questions. Drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Otherwise, I will see you in the next training. Have a good one, guys.